Hi, welcome to my video. So in this video, I'm sure all the Gnomies that likes Gnome will be really pleased to see me back on it. Now, before I get people scratching their heads like, I thought you were going to be testing out KDE 6. Well, there is some issues with KDE 6. And let me explain why. Now, the thing is, I'm not completely going back on Gnome. I'm still going to test. My main goal is to use KDE 6. Okay, like I like KDE 6, but right now at the moment it is okay. The system works good, KDE 6, when you're using it. Like when you're in the desktop, using the desktop. For the most part, I have no issues. My biggest issue with KDE 6 is locking the screen. So when you lock the screen, for me, what happens for me, my personal, people probably could have different problems with this, but for me, I'm getting this bug where when I lock the screen and the screen locks, right? So it blanks out. And then when I try to, when I go back to my computer, like let's say like I go to work, I just lock my screen. So it blanks out. Okay. Leave my place, go to work, do my job, come back, and then you want to come back. You grab your coffee, you come back, you to your desk, and you go to your desktop, and you just shake your mouse or you hit enter on your keyboard, and the screen should unblank, right? Well, that does not happen. So it stays blank for a while. Then I have to like keep at it until it really just snaps out of it, and then it gets to the path or prompt to go back so you can go back into your desktop. Type your password, hit enter. And also when you type in your password, once it wakes up or gets out of the blanking part of it, it takes a while. I have to fight with it. And when you type your password, you hit enter, it doesn't go. And you have to hit that little, you gotta use your mouse to click the little arrow thing to go inside the desktop. It is annoying. And then I know I actually put KDE 6 on all of my computers. I still have it on Arch Linux. I just right now I put back Gnome. Okay, I did took off Gnome because I was planning to just stick with KDE. I thought it was stable enough because it said RC1. RC1 to me in my mind, like it's release candidate 1. This sounds close to being released, and it's gonna be released in a month. So it's like, shouldn't it be stable? I mean, like it should it have like this, like the locking screen with KDE 6 is like in my personal opinion, in my personal experience, this is not release candidate 1. This is still like alpha style, like totally off alpha. Because the reason why I say that, it's very buggy. There is some other bugs that counter with KDE, but it's nothing too major. But when it comes to using Wayland and OBS, you cannot record your screen. It's blank, but it works fine on Gnome. So it's, I don't know. There is some things that KDE that I probably will just, I don't know. I'll probably just stick with Gnome. I really don't want to stick with Gnome. But the reason why I stick with Gnome because it is quite stable. I'll give it that. It's stable. It works good. The problem with me with Gnome is that they took out the desktop icons and they took out the system tray. Now these are the two things that I really like in Gnome before. I don't know why they took it out, and it doesn't make sense. And I wish that they would put them back. That is my biggest gripe with Gnome. That is when they took the icon, the desktop icons out of Gnome, and they took out the system tray. That's when I really was like, man, I'm not really impressed with Gnome anymore. And some people, they might like this. They don't care about the desktop icons or the system tray, but there's people that does care about it. So taking a feature out is just making it worse, and you're pleasing less people. That's what I'm saying. Gnome the way it was before, what the system tray and desktop icons, there was nothing wrong with GNOME. Or no one ever, I don't hear anybody playing like, oh, hey, I don't want desktop icons. I don't want Citrix. I never ever heard people complain about it. So I don't understand why they took the feature out. So on that part, that's why I want to ditch GNOME. Now, there's not much really choice in DE. We got XFCE4, but I'm not really a big fan of that. We got AlexQt, which I probably may switch to. I actually quite like AlexQt. But as far as GNOME with the system tray and desktop icons, they are probably never going to put them back. And it's really sad that the extensions I use are features that GNOME had before, which is kind of pathetic. The only extensions that I used that GNOME never had was Dash a Dock, which is this here, which they should have their dock visible. And plus, when you don't have Dash a Dock enable, let me show you an example here. Okay, if you take Dash a Dock off, okay, this is their dock. It is big. You can't resize it. You can't, like, I don't know. This doesn't look good. I don't know, like, the design team just are stupid. Because, and to get to the dock, you have to go to all these steps. You gotta go like that, or you hit the super key on your keyboard. Like this. Super key. Then you hit super key again. Like double tap it. It goes to the icons. I don't know. This here, you can't customize this. You can't, you know, like they don't show the trash bin on the dock as well. So, I don't know. It just looks stupid. You take off, you know, system tray. You take off, how about this? Let's just add everything back on. How about we just take off extensions? Okay, this is how GNOME looks like out of the box. And you tell me this looks good. This looks awful. Plain black bar. This desktop here, I'm gonna really be honest, it does not look like a desktop. It doesn't look like a desktop environment for desktops. And it basically is a desktop environment, but it doesn't look like it's for desktop. It looks like it's being made for mobile touchscreen. The reason why I say that is because of the big buttons and this. So this, they're really making their desktop environment for mobile. So yeah, I don't like it. I don't like default GNOME. I think default GNOME is ugly. But with extensions like this, it actually becomes a desktop system. Because you have your visible dock, which is, you can make it smaller. You can add trash bin. And plus, if you have mounted hard like disk, it'll be on the dock as well. And you can add extensions for your desktop icons and for your system tray. To me, this is now a complete desktop. And my extensions are basically all extensions that makes GNOME better and what GNOME used to have before. The only extension that GNOME never had was, you know, blur my shell, which they should have a feature in there where you can blur or tint your shell, like what KDE does. KDE has a system tray. KDE has desktop icon. Also, you could put widgets on the desktop. KDE has everything that you would like to have in a desktop. KDE is great. I love KDE. The reason why I don't use KDE is because it's quite unstable, especially in the locking part. And if they could fix that, I totally would use KDE over GNOME. Now, I want to test out OpenSUSE, but they don't have the latest KDE and OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. You have to get another distribution ISO called Krypton. And basically, usually that comes with a bleeding edge KDE system. You can maybe add the repository to KDE onto OpenSUSE, but I don't know. The thing I want to test out OpenSUSE. I don't have anything against OpenSUSE. My only gripe with OpenSUSE is that when it comes to software, not everything works the way you want it to work. And you cannot get every software. At the last time I used it, I could not get every software from just the main repository. So I gotta look into that. I might do a video on OpenSUSE in the future. I never had anything against OpenSUSE. More likely, I find the community is kind of, I don't know, worse than the worst in Arch Linux community. That's for sure. When it comes to toxic people, I don't really care. I'm not gonna bother talking to anybody from the open source Linux community because too much people are just they're just not humble. They're not nice. I mean, there is nice people, but not everybody's nice. So therefore, I just test things out myself, and I just give my opinion in my YouTube videos, and I put it out there for people to watch, and that's it. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's not much to it, but that is my experience using KDE. So I'm not really right at the moment too pleased with it. I'm also thinking of putting back my B550 Plus. I ordered another NVMe disk, Samsung Evo 970 Plus, 1 terabyte, which I already have one already like that. Like this is the hard drive that I have on this one right now. But I ordered another one, so I'm going to have 2 of them. And the second one, the new one I order, I'm going to be putting Gentoo on that. So I even mentioned in my other video that I was just like, I'm going to go using Arch Linux full time, which is true. I will use Arch Linux. Arch Linux will always be my main system, and it always has been. My point is that I never gave up Arch Linux when I went on Gentoo in the first place. People take my videos and they think that I'm just using one computer and just using one distribution. I use many different distributions. I try a lot of Linux distributions and a lot of systems. So that's me. For the most part, I stick with the ones that I liked a lot. Well, a lot, and that one that works good for me, and one of them is Gentoo. And that's why I ordered another NVMe disk, and I'm gonna put Gentoo on there because I still have my stage 4 backup, so that would be a very easy process to put back my system. And that's the reason why I just took it off on my other computers, because I could always put it back on with stage 4. So yeah, that is my video, and that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna be probably trying out KDE on Gentoo as well. KDE 6, see how that works. Like once I get my disk, I think by the time I get my new NVMe disk, KDE RC2 will be out, and also I will be testing out KDE KDE 6 RC2. Once that I release it, that's January 31st. That's supposed to come out. So basically in a few days. Once that's out, I think that's Wednesday. So once that's out, I will do a video on my thoughts on KDE with the RC2 and see if things get fixed in that. And also, I'll give you I'll probably do a screencast of me running KDE 6 on Gentoo as well in the future. So get ready for that. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys. Cheers.